Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to do the character review for Elite Spy Shia. I'm going to do things a bit differently this time. As you can see, I have the website on the left and the game open on the right. I'm only going to use the game for the team building part and to look at what scales on the skills, because it's an information I don't have on my website. And yeah, for everything else I will try to use the website directly. I will also skip on 2 points. The first one is rapport, because it doesn't really matter. If it's a unit you will use, just take them to level 6. You will have to take every single unit in the game to level 6 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's a very irrelevant piece of information, and the logic is also always the same. Prioritize getting to level 4 for the extra swiftness, level 5 if you need the extra evasion, level 6 if you need the extra accuracy. That's it. But again, as I said, you will get every single unit in the game to level 6 for the extra accuracy provides to all units you own. So really, really important. The second thing I'm going to skip on is going to be the gear investment, because it's the same for every single unit. It doesn't really change the logic behind it. It's always the same. So if we go here in the investment guide, I have this sort of description. Let me know in the comments if it's not clear, if I should change something. I will definitely make some improvements. But yeah, basically here I just provide information on when you want to upgrade slot 1, when you want to upgrade slot 3, and when you want to upgrade slot 4. It's always the same. Slot 1 is the accuracy slot, so only if you are below the enemy evasion, then you upgrade this one. Slot 2 is the one for the attack scaling DPS units. So if you're DPS in attack scaler, go for slot 2, upgrade it, otherwise skip that. Then we have slot 3, this one is the evasion slot. It's only useful if by upgrading it, your evasion gets higher than the enemy accuracy. If it's still below the enemy accuracy, then it's entirely worthless and you can skip it. Slot 4 is the resistance slot, and this one is only useful at lower deficit. So if your deficit is around 300, 350 or way above it, then resistance is not really going to do much. Maybe for PvP it could come in handy, but it's really very minimal. So you might as well leave it at +0 if you're aiming for high deficit. If you are a lower deficit, you cannot climb up. Maybe you can level it up, but I wouldn't exaggerate because coins are really important to upgrade links. I wouldn't really waste 7.2 millions on a piece of gear. So that's just a general recommendation. There is nothing fancy to it. It's the same for every single unit. So again, I will never mention this point again. And yeah, I think we can get started with the actual character review. If you watched my tier list update video yesterday, you already know that this unit is S plus R up, at least in my tier list. I think she's a really good support. She's just not top 3, probably not even top 5, but she could be 5th. I'm still not sure, but she's either 5th or 6th best support in the game. And yeah, like all she provides is pretty useful for your attack scaling DPS units, especially if you're playing her not with an attack scaler, then all she provides is going to be just a buff removal and then a short invincibility. That's it, which is not enough to make her a valuable support. But if your DPS is a sort of attack scaling damage, then she's going to be really, really solid. And yeah, in terms of dupes required, 0 dupes is absolutely terrible. A lot of things in her kit scale with levels. So having her at 0 dupes will really do nothing. And also 3 red is going to be acceptable, but revolution upgrades are really good on her, so you kind of want them. And yeah, that's also what you're going to see here in the investment guide. We have mandatory. I marked 3 red. But again, as I mentioned, is kind of weak, and as you can see, the ranking I gave her is a lot lower. A rainbow, you get access to Revolution 4 and Revolution 5. Those are really, really massive. We're going to see them in a second. So this is kind of the requirements that you have, the dupe requirement. And yeah, definitely not at 0 dupes kind of support, which is disappointing, but yeah, not much we can do. I would say if you cannot max her out, she is a unit you can easily skip. There's really no reason, considering how close anniversary is, to be using black market tickets on this unit, unless you can max her and still have enough for the next family head unit and all the things that will come in anniversary. So be prepared. This is a support that you can skip. So let's have a quick look at the base kit. We're also going to look in-game at what scales. We're going to start with the passive. So we have the passive that is going to deploy a data field every 6 seconds at level 5, 12 seconds if I remember correctly at level 1, which is trash. At level 1, I mean, really too long of an interval. It is going to reduce the defense of enemies in range by 40% at level 5, 20% at level 1, so again, very, very weak, with a maximum of 2 stacks, so up to 80%. Really, really good. This is massive to boost the damage of your attack scaling units. Then we have the survivability mechanic for herself. She's going to gain 1 backup lighthouse every time she deploys the data field, so every interval of time. And whenever she falls below 70%, she's going to consume 1 and then become invincible for 3 seconds, recovering HP. This is really massive because you have a 3-second invincibility on a 6-second cooldown. And we're going to see later the revolution, but it's going to be extremely hard to kill her, even if you're not running Barry. But we're going to talk about ignition weapon later. So really good passive for her own survivability and also for damage increase on attack scaling units. Then we have the first active skill, the magnetic grenade. This one is going to throw a grenade at the area where enemies are most concentrated, dealing damage and paralyzing them for 4 seconds. Duration is nice, but it's on an active skill, so the cooldown is also quite long. And then there is also damage over time that is going to last for 4 seconds, I think, at level 1, and 8 seconds at level 5. So definitely there is a difference, but we don't really care about the damage part, so it's kind of irrelevant. Then we have the reverse link active skill. This one is going to send a drone to the ally with the lowest HP percentage for 10 seconds or 6 seconds at level 1. And this is the same for the other part of the effect in terms of duration. That is going to heal them for 1200% attack every second. This is a massive number, but for us it's kind of irrelevant. And as an enemy, this makes her one of the most annoying enemies to deal with. And there is also another healing on the special move, which is even more annoying probably. Kind of depends because it's AoE, that one. So absolutely insane. But for us, kind of whatever. Then she's going to create a reverse link on the enemy with the highest HP percentage, redirecting 40% of the target's allies' damage taken to the enemy. I had higher expectations for this skill. Unfortunately, it's not really that great. It works well in some scenarios, but overall, the damage she deals is pretty weak. So I don't like it that much. Then we have the special move. She's going to become immune so that she cannot be interrupted, and activate the Quantum Lighthouse to restore all allies' HP by 40%, 20% level 1, again, pretty weak, and then granting Quantum State for 10 seconds to everyone. And while a unit is in Quantum State, it increases attack by 40%, not too high, but it's still somewhat fine. And then recover HP every second by 800% of her attack for a 10-second duration on everyone. This is a pain to deal with in Adventure. Absolutely annoying. You definitely need an HP recovery block, period. Without it, you cannot kill her. And yeah, that's the base kit. Pretty simple, there is nothing fancy to it. And if we don't take Revolution into account, it's also, I don't want to say underwhelming, but nothing special. If we look at Revolution, let me close the base kit. We can see that the Revolution 4 is the one that we see here on the right. So when Shia activates the special move, you're going to grant invincibility to all allies for 2 seconds. This is decent, pretty good, but again, 2 seconds is too short and you cannot really chain it well enough. But then you're also going to get a 60% physical and magic resistance increase. This is again only useful below 300 to 350 deficit. Above that, kind of irrelevant, but at the very least will put the majority of your units to 99% resistances. And in PvP is quite decent, but it can be removed, so at the end of the day it's still kind of irrelevant as well. Then we have the Revolution 5. This one is also really strong. Whenever she neutralizes enemies with the passive, she's also going to remove buffs other than applying the defense decrease. And additionally, whenever she procs the backup lighthouse, so she goes below 70% HP, she's then going to generate 500 energy. This is really important because like she's going to go invincible for 3 seconds and regenerate 500 energy, which will basically give her enough to cast the special move, which will be an additional 2-second invincibility on top, which means you have a 5-second invincibility with a 1-second downtime. In some cases, other times she will cast the special move while she still has the 3-second invincibility up, so maybe it's like 4 seconds most of the times, but it's still quite good, a really good uptime, and her own survivability is really high. You also have to consider that she can stack the backup lighthouse up to 3. So if she's not hit for the first like 12 seconds of the fight, she will have 3 backup lighthouse, and she's basically unkillable. Really, really insane. So yeah, I really like the Revolution upgrades. They're really strong, and that's one more reason to max her out or skip her. Like those are the two options. I wouldn't really half-ass it. She's not going to do anything at 3 blue, 3 purple, even 3 red. She's going to underperform quite a bit. Then we have the exclusive equipment, but I think also this one we can look directly here on my website. Of the level 1 is going to recover 50 energy for each enemy hit by the magnetic grenade, up to 250 if you have good grouping. So that's decent, but it's not an active skill, so it's not really going to proc that frequently. Then we have level 2 is going to decrease physical and magic resistance of the enemies with the reverse link by 30%. This is whatever. It's okay, but it's not really a great debuff to have. It's still acceptable. And at the very least, it cannot really be cleansed, it cannot be removed, because it would be reapplied immediately. As long as the link is there, the debuff is going to be there. So quite okay. Then we have level 3. This is going to add the defense decrease on the magnetic grenade. So this is going to be important for the damage over time. If it lasts longer, you will also have an higher uptime on this one. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's not really too high. Then we have a level 4. This one is going to activate the effect on the passive immediately at the start of the battle. So you're going to start with a backup lighthouse, and enemies are going to start with 40% decreased defense. Pretty good. So I like also the exclusive equipment. And yeah, for now, I think that's most of it. For the ignition weapon, you have a few options. I placed Bari as the best in slot. I'm not too sure about it because of how frequently she has invisibility in her own passive. This will help covering the downtimes. Like you have a 3-second invincibility, you gain the energy, you have another 2 second. Maybe the enemy one shot you in that 1 second window that you don't have invincibility, and then Barry procs. So then you get again the stack from the passive, and you can then go back again in a 3-second window invincibility, gain 500 energy, go again in 2-second invincibility, etc., etc. So it's more of an emergency effect than anything, and might not proc that often. So in case you want something that is more maybe beneficial, and you take the risk of not having this sort of guarantee of survivability, you can go for Rafflesia, is going to be really good. You can go for Doris, is going to be pretty good as well. You could go Runda, I don't really like that much. You could go Idea, but also I don't really like that. Like casting the special move 2 times in a row is not really going to do much, but whatever. So I think Rafflesia is the best alternative to Bari if you don't want to go Bari. So that's the main thing for Ignition Weapon. In terms of stat investment, the information is here in the investment tab. And slot 4, I will say magic resistance, slot 5, physical resistance. This is only if you're playing at a deficit that again still makes use of resistances. If you're above 350, I would go effect resistance dot 4 or effect it, but I would say effect resistance is a bit better because you only need effect hit to be above the enemy effect resistance that is not high in adventure. But effect resistance is like evasion. So the more you have, the higher the chance of dodging the debuffs and the status effects. So I would prefer going for effect resistance, but it's kind of up to you. So yeah, if resistances are not working anymore, change slot 4 main stat. And for slot 5, there are not really any alternatives, so just stick to physical resistance is fine, or just don't level it at all. And that's it. So yeah, that's all for the ignition weapons as well. I don't think there is anything else to mention. Yeah, for Revolution, I forgot to mention the subnodes, but again, you can find information here in the investment guide. So effect resistance is going to be really important to have. It's 200 effect resistance, really good. And then if you really want to, in the nice to have, I added max cooldown reduction, but only do that when you don't have anything else to upgrade, because there is really, it's too expensive. As you can see, like this one is 400 purple, 20, well, let's say 30,000 orange, and 3,500 green. But the other one is a lot less, is 6,200 orange and 2,100 green. That's it. You don't need anything else. Obviously, if you are into PvP, if you are a whale, well, you invest in everything. You don't really need me to tell you what you should be investing in. But yeah, if you're free to play, you don't really care about PvP, I would say the recommended level of investment is enough. Nice to have is a bit too expensive. Do it later. That's kind of the idea. And yeah, for the actual unit, I think that's all. There is nothing else to cover. We can quickly go through some team building. But she's a support, so it's not like I'm going to recommend you guys a team built around her. It's more which kind of DPS units will want her support. And as I mentioned, she will buff attack scalers the most. So you want a unit that deals attack scaling damage. So she's not going to work well with Eden. She could work a little bit with Alice, but not too much. She's not really going to work with Yasracha. She's not really going to work with Tramray. I mean, she will still provide value, but not enough, I would say. The best users are obviously units like, I don't know, Revolution Bomb is going to be fine. Dawon is going to be great. We have Viol is going to be great. Evankel as well. Jinsung. Ejin if you have him. Gustang as well, because Gustang, it's true he has max HP damage on the passive, but he has so much attack, it's insane. This one is 2400. This one is a 600% per blade. That's really insanity. We have an 800% every second on enemies in the flames. And we have the passive that also has additional attack percent. So it's true, most of his damage will be max HP, especially if your deficit is high. But still, I wouldn't ignore the attack scaling part. And also the reverse link could help countering some units that Gustang struggles against, so not a bad pair. For purple, basically all the 3 DPSs in purple will benefit from her, no problem. And for yellow, Irang, even though her damage will still not really be that good. Hugo would definitely also like her. Ascension is kind of worthless, so let's not talk about him. And that's more or less it. She's going to be great also together with Towa. If you pair them together, they're going to boost the damage of any attack scaling unit by an insane amount. So any DPS unit that we say, okay, this unit falls off at higher deficit, these 2 units together will carry them anyway. So they're still going to do relevant damage. But if you don't have Towa, this is not really a topic. So yeah, that's the general idea. In terms of a generic team comp, there is, again, not much. You want to build around your DPS and not Shia. Just keep in mind the DPS units that work well with her, and then build a team around that DPS. That's all I can say. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments how you feel about it. If you have any recommendations, any improvement, I will definitely consider them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.